Hello everyone and welcome back to 5-9 Gaming, your source for news and updates for everything gaming related. My name is Samled and I will be your host for episode 28 of our Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle podcast called Long Live the Queen. As always, I'm not alone today. Say hello to the LR King himself, The Truth.
Alright! Hello.
Too early for this, man. It's too early for me for this.
Fantastic.
So fans are awake now, huh?
Yeah.
I want to see you match that energy, Josh. Come on.
Yo, yeah. What's up?
you will have your chance, Fanta. You will have a chance. But yeah, of course, our super Battle Road King from the United Kingdom is here again, the Masked Ningen.
Woo! Yo!
I love it.
Where's that Super ATL run at?
Huh?
He did it, didn't he?
Where's what?
Continue.
Where's what?
Keep going.
Okay, yeah, we'll discuss this afterwards.
I don't know. I thought he mentioned the video I uploaded 12 hours ago, but I wasn't sure.
I'm just sipping tea.
Alright, let's continue with the introductions. As Toon always says, the homie who needs no introduction, Goresh.
Where's what?
Okay, come on, let's settle this now. Ningen did his Super AGL Extreme Soul Battle Road run 12 hours ago without items, so is he the king? What about Extreme Tech?
Coming soon.
Very good question.
Okay. Okay, let's move on here. Nola's son, Mr. Free to Play, Jay Fanta. Hello, man.
Yo, what's up?
It's actually the first time that I introduce you. So.
Yep. Very dope.
And yeah, Goresh said it, last but not least, the guy who knows everything about every gacha and anime in existence, Gay Riot.
Yo, what's good, everybody?
And of course, thanks to Hydros for producing today's Dokkan Battle podcast. His help is greatly appreciated. So yeah, before we actually jump in, make sure to check out our link tree to follow 5-9 Gaming everywhere on the internet, Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, and so on. Don't miss a single update from the 5-9 Gaming network. And with that said, let's start with episode 28, Long Live the Queen. So, there was a lot of speculation about a possible April Fool's joke here, but yeah, here she is, Dokkan Fest Videl. So, I guess you all remember the quote-unquote infamous DM exchange between Goresh and Truth about her when the data download took place. So, yeah, Truth, what's your opinion about Dokkan Fest Videl? How good is she, and is she the best you are in the game?
She's very good. I probably would say she's the best TUR. Like, there's definitely a number of situations that'll pop up where her bad link sets and lack of teams will hurt her, right? Because, like, you just pull, like, I don't know, Broly or one of these characters. Like, there's a bajillion Super Battle Road stages that, like, they're a part of, right? Like, Broly is in, like, movie bosses, and all these stages are going to get Pure Saiyan, stuff like that, right? Whereas Videl's basically just, like, Peppy Gals and Majin Buu Saga. But, like, if you just look at her like raw performance, yeah, she's pretty good. Defensively, she's a lot better than people realize, I think, because like you just look at the damage and it's like, oh my god, she did 5 million attack stats, wowee! But it's like she's also dodging at 50% with 300k defense, so she's pretty good.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. She is crazy. Yeah, what do the other guys think? Of course, there are a lot of global players here, but Fanta plays JP. Were you lucky somehow and pulled her?
No, I didn't even summon for her. I think people, like we all recommend like not really summoning for the banner anyway. But I got to use her as a friend. She did really good. Very, very strong, even on like free-to-play leads. But yeah, I see the same issue. It's just like no real teams, especially when you're restricted to even like deadly free to play like I am. So yeah, that's just the issue at the end of the day.
Yeah, I have to say, like, my initial reaction was pretty much like True's. But yeah, now I think that she is definitely in the upper class of the TORs, man. She is insanely powerful. The guaranteed super attack with super effective against all types with 3, 4, 5 million attacks. It's insanely good. Her defense is really, really solid. Just a bummer that she is on a small amount of categories, but yeah, it doesn't hold her back too much, I would say personally, because Majin Buu Saga is an amazing team. You can mix it up with Battle of Wits. She actually has some rotations which work pretty well with STR18. You can play her with the AGL Trunks and Mai too, so I'm not too worried anymore.
I'm not a big fan of that, because Trunks and Mai, without another Trunks and Mai, you lose a lot of the value from that unit. That's the only thing. I think a better setup is the free-to-play Hercule and Boo. That works really well with Videl.
Yeah. But yeah, you could always use another Trunks or Mai unit on the team, depending on what you're trying to build. Because Battle of Wits has this kind of opportunity, right? There is a Mai unit on there, and I think an additional Trunks unit. I don't know, but yeah, I see where you're coming from. Okay, so what do the global guys think? Yeah, Ningen, what's your impression about Videl?
I mean, yeah, I think she looks really good. There's not, I've obviously watched the showcases from JP people, and I think she's good. I think this is something that the game kind of has to do. Like, if they're going to release these characters that are not necessarily the most hype or the most popular, that's how you get people to summon for them, right?
She's hype in my eyes. She's beautiful.
Ridiculously good. Yeah, exactly. There'll be some people out there who she's their cup of tea. But yeah, for everybody else, that's how you get people to summon, I guess. It's just make the units really good. And it is funny to see like the kind of bias that some people have towards characters sometimes, because I've seen people will recognize screen names from like the Reddit threads or like Twitter comments where it's like, people will say that she's bad because she has bad links, but some of them are the same people that think that Tech Ultimate Gohan is the best unit in the game. So she's yeah, she's definitely got some limitations, but when you see her in her best sort of situation, it's hard to deny that she is incredibly good.
Her links being bad, it is a valid criticism, right? Because it's like people go, well, it doesn't matter because she's gonna double super anyway, and it's like, yeah, that's fine. So she misses her first super, but she double supers. But then what about the unit next to her that also doesn't super, right? So you have to make sure to build it in a very particular way. It's like the thing about like Videl is like she wants one of these wonky partners or something like that, right? Whereas like Gogeta, you just grab a Gogeta or Vegeta or some crazy Saiyan, right? Same thing with Broly. Angel Frieza, you get another one of these insane, villain units. But like Videl doesn't have like a great like, oh, here's this other amazing unit in the game that I'm gonna put next to her, right? It doesn't really exist.
I think in the future though, since they're releasing all these like weird units as Dokkan Fest, I mean, we could get like more common partners in the end of the day. So maybe this is just the stepping stone to like wonky rotations and wonky units together.
For me, I think the reason why they ended up making her so good was there's two reasons. Number one, obviously, is she's Videl, right? That's number one. And then number two is she's not gonna be on more than 2 teams probably. Like she's one on Peppy Gals / the Allied Justice team, and then she's on Majin Buu Saga, and that's it, right? There's no other team that she's on.
Earthlings, but Earthlings doesn't have a leader yet.
Yeah, sure, Earthlings. Okay, sorry.
Yo,
I mean, yeah, that's why I literally said immediately
Earthlings
there's no
goated.
leader for her yet.
Yeah, because Krillin, I have not seen LR Krillin in the friends list in months. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically, like this kind of reminds me of when, well, not to the same degree, but similar to when LR Gohan and Goten came out, and they needed to specifically have like a setup to make them look crazy good. That's what this Videl sort of gives off the same type of, I guess, vibe to me, where you have to have the whole team centered around her, and she's only really good on like 2 teams, so that's why.
Other thing I'll say, I do want to get it out. She is a horrible pick for a Dokkan Fest. Like I don't know what argument people have to like. She's a character that is like irrelevant. Like she doesn't really fight, right? Like there's actually like 500 characters more deserving.
Well,
I mean, in terms of
Oh, yeah, you think so?
Good is a very relative statement. I mean, out of all the female characters they could have gone for, I still don't get why Videl, considering, I mean, there's two female characters that are instantaneously more important than her, arguably, right? And Bulma and Chi-Chi.
Straight up, how about the most important female in the show, the series, Bulma?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I said. Like, there's two female characters automatically more important than her, and it's Bulma and Chi-Chi, and I don't understand why either didn't get one before her, but besides the point, even I have to agree with what everybody else said. I mean, I think of her as an extremely fun unit. She'll be fine on Peppy Gals and Ally of Justice, but I can see the issues that will arise with Majin Buu Saga, and of course, whenever Earthlings gets its leader, potentially, unless that is also a key +4 leader down the line. Yeah, it's a very interesting pick. Well made, I must admit. Very well made. I really like the fact that she can be used in all 3 slots in different ways, of course, as well.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But like, and it's infinitely better than, say, the orb restrictions that, say, Pikkon and, you know, the SJ2s have. Personally, to me, I prefer these sort of restrictions because that'll change the way you use the unit quite drastically as well, to a degree, right? So I always love this sort of restriction slash changes to the unit depending on which slot they're in. And honestly, overall, unit super attack's fine. Her active skill is very easy to accomplish, thankfully, because it's not like you need.
It sucks.
I mean, in the sense, it just, well, in retrospective, in the sense, like, it doesn't need Gohan to be on that rotation. It can be on the team, is what I mean. But
well, I'm saying the effect is bad.
Oh, the effect. Yeah, okay, fair enough, the effect. But I mean, like, in terms of the activation
this
for
is
it,
opposite of Broly. The condition is fine. I think the condition is totally cool. But the effect, I think, is not good.
Yeah, and I think the only thing lacking in her passive skill, like I mentioned many times, was like maybe she could have been given like key +2 or something like that, and it would have been completely fine at the start. But oh well, you know, you can't get everything, I suppose.
In terms of her kit, the only really big complaint that I have is the fact that she doesn't have the World Tournament category. And I feel like if they would have made her like a powerhouse for that category, this could have been the first like super powerful, like really, really good unit that could propel that category to being relevant.
100% agree with that, yeah.
Her short-haired version only fights in the World Tournament, so it doesn't make sense. Like, the version that fights Spopovich is what she costume changes into, so it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. It's weird as well because, sorry, I was just going to say, yeah, go ahead. Sorry, you go ahead.
Right, I was going to say, I think the reason why they didn't put her on there was because technically this is like from the scene where she first like trained with Gohan, but she should still be on it.
And the weirdest thing for me is that the banner unit, the Goten, is from that World Tournament period, but she isn't as well. So it's kind of like odd why they took two different sort of like time zones for the Goten and Videl, because I thought the Goten would have been.
Isn't the Goten from the bit where he's training with Gohan and Gohan sees him go Super Saiyan for the first time?
Yeah, but
So
the card art specifically to me looks to be when he fires the Kamehameha at Trunks in the World Tournament. Right?
And he has the World Tournament category as well.
So there you go.
He literally has the category, so it's like so odd that the main unit is like from. Usually, what they do with the banner unit and the main unit is that they're from the same time period and like that same fight or around that period, right? This one just seems to be like two different eras entirely, kind of thing.
What I think is going to happen.
Exactly good for that category either. So.
What I think is going to happen is when they finally start to focus on the World Tournament category, they'll add her to it.
Possible, very possible, yeah.
Yeah.
Because they did leave off a lot of Vegetas and stuff off of Prodigal Warriors that they just added, right? So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have Goten on the screen right now, so let's talk about him. He is, in my opinion, an amazing unit. Key +3 in attack and defense up 40% for Prodigious Warriors. I think that's a unit that this team really needs, and this unit ties in very well with the Dokkan, Fest, Trunks, and Goten, but... Fanta, what do you think about Goten
I haven't used them at all. I shouldn't.
You haven't used him? Okay.
Nah, I haven't.
Yeah, I personally think that he's a great unit, but yeah, truth, you obviously used him, so what do you think?
Yeah, he's very good. That team is a team that's very similar to like Kamehameha in that it's very big, but has a very like wonky cast of characters. So you need these types of units to be on there. I mean, you can run the full Goten and Trunks team is actually like ridiculous, right? Because
Yes.
those two EZAs, the AGL Goten and the physical Trunks, are monsters. Like people,
Yep.
I feel like people don't actually understand how good they are, and the 18, like they're so busted.
Right. And that's why I think Majin Buu Saga works so well with Videl, because you have her in one rotation with the STR-18, and then you have Trunks on the team as well. And yeah, Majin Buu Saga is even better now. But yeah, that's a different subject. But what do the global guys think? Goresh, what's your opinion about this guy?
He's just a very straightforward, good, solid unit. I mean, if someone introduced this to me as like a fan-made card, and I looked at it, I'd be like, yeah, he's very good, and that's it. Like, and then move on. He's not something that where it's like you have to sit there and think about, oh, he's gonna be good here and here and here. It's like very obvious that he's good.
To be
and
fair,
he's just
Goresh,
solid.
if the unit was 750% attack and defense, you'd say, yeah, looks good.
I mean, yeah, that'd be pretty good too.
Yeah, that would.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, so what about the global guys here, Ningen? Yeah, I personally went into the banner for him because I wanted this guy, but maybe I'm overhyping him a little bit. But yeah, I'm very happy that this new category got a support unit like that. But yeah, Ningen, what do you think before we move on to the next topic?
Yeah, I've not really got anything major else to add. I like the fact they're continuing this trend of making these support units for the specific teams, but who are actually solid enough to hold their own. So because that's the kind of thing that we started to notice with like the older generation of support units, is as you moved into this like new meta of some of the harder events, like those units could quite easily get you killed with their lack of defense and stuff. So we're starting to see a lot of these new support units that can actually hold their own defensively. The only other thing I will add that I thought was very weird, considering the quality that we've seen lately, his super attack animation, there's like two specific parts where his face just looks really bizarre to me. I don't know if it's just me, but
No, you're right. Okay. So yeah, let's talk about the banner actually and the top grossing situation. I personally think that it's great that Videl's banner, or well, Dokkan at the time frame, hit 6th place on iOS, right?
Yep.
I think that's a good sign for Dokkan, and yeah, I think that was pretty important to Truth here. So I will bring it over to Truth to talk about this matter here.
Yeah, it's pretty big, and they didn't like do everything they could to get it high up either, because they left Gogeta off. It was Gogeta's turn. They blatantly skipped over him and put Bojack on there. So it's like this. I don't know. This felt to me like a test or something. Like I swear they might actually have been sitting in there laughing. Like, let's just try it. Like, let's just.
I
like,
mean,
who's the most ridiculous character we can give a
Truth.
Dokkan Fest right now?
I told you as well. I told you, didn't I? Top 5 or close to it, and lo and behold, 6th place. Yeah, it's not a surprise. No other game has anything going on, and I feel this was a great test for them to see how well a random unit would have done as well. And it's done extremely well in my opinion. 6th place is, I mean, it's really good for Videl out of all things, let's be honest.
6th place carried by Truth.
No, yeah, I wish.
Let me ask
It had
this.
that big of an effect.
Let me ask this: is 6th place good when they could just release a Saiyan and get like 3?
I think it's a yes and no, because this allows them to know that even if there's something hype going on in any other gacha, they can release some random unit in that place instead and not have to, and then they can use their big guns for like other games aren't doing anything, they can release their big unit and that will get them top grossing very easily.
Well,
know
why
what
not
is
just release a
funny?
Saiyan every time anyway?
Yeah, because, okay, here's the thing,
Yeah.
right? So, like, answer this question. Besides Evolution Blue Vegeta, main anniversary unit, right? When was the last solo Vegeta Dokkan Fest? Vegeta. Just solo Vegeta Dokkan Fest. When was it?
Transforming?
Yep. 2 years ago.
damn.
Yeah, and that's, like, people... say Vegito and Saiyans! And it's like, they don't release even half as often as people pretend they do.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane. So...
I mean, to be fair,
point
last
that
year
out.
was entirely fusions, let's be honest. The entirety
Yeah,
of
guess
last year
what?
was mainly fusions, and yeah.
Let's pull up the revenue sheets. I wonder if next year will be all fusions as well.
Yeah. I mean, they will always go for stuff that sells. It's not even a question, and yeah, it's.
Yeah,
It's-
it's that literal meme that got shared around again recently, where it's like everybody complains when a new Saiyan or Fusion comes out that those are the only units that they make. So then they make somebody else, nobody summons for them, and they don't get top grossing, and then everybody complains. So then they just release another Saiyan or Fusion, and the cycle begins again.
Okay. I guess we can move on. I absolutely agree with all your points. And yeah, Fanta, now's your time.
Yes, sir.
JP Dokkan introduced some new Extreme Z Awakenings. Yeah, the April Fool's retro cards got one, Yamu and Spopovich got one, and the Great Saiyaman unit, the Int one. So, Fanta, what do you think about those 4 units? Who's your favorite?
They all suck. No, I'm kidding.
Oh my. Jesus.
Let's start off with the 8-bit since they're both on Global and JP. I think on paper when they like awaken in EZA, it looks like they didn't get that much of a change. Like, but when you use them in battle, that 88% attack boost that they get from just due to the awakening and the EZA that they get that big stat boost actually changes a lot. And if you don't even activate that attack plus 88% from either of them, you can see the big attack drop. Plus they stack really, really good. I just think link-wise, maybe the Vegeta is not crazy good for some of these categories that he is in, like Terrifying Conquerors. But he does fit in some things like Inhuman Deeds with like Nappa and Vegeta. It's just that Nappa and Vegeta Inhuman Deeds is not really a crazy category to begin with, like 130% for the leader. Good card though. Goku, I feel like, is pretty fun to use in Turtle School. It's just, again, Infight is great. It's just, there's so many like other cards already that fill up the spots for some of these categories that it does sometimes suck when you can't use them. But overall, I feel like those 2 cards, definitely a really good awakening. Really, really strong.
I love the fact that Vegeta is on Terrifying Conquerors and his sprite is like a 1997 pixel thing.
It is.
So terrifying.
That is good. Because all those like early Saiyans are on there, right? So like,
Yeah, it's
we're
just
gonna
funny to
get,
me that
you know-
like the most unintimidating sprite in the game is on Terrifying Conquerors.
I mean, listen, the sprite that the game they're from Legendary Super Wars is really good. Just gotta add that out there.
Well, yeah, it's old. But I just think it's funny to look at that.
And then for the not Hercule, the Great Saiyaman and the Yamu and Spopovich. Great Saiyaman is insane, actually insane. If you can activate the damage reduction, guaranteed damage reduction, pretty easily, the 28%. And then he's got a good amount of attack. He's got inbuilt crits, raises attack and defense. He lowers attack and defense. He's got a lot in his kit. And then even he used to be so bad when you versed, like, this is like the rarest situations, but when you versed Peppy Girls or Youth, he was just a useless sitting duck. Now, at the very least, with his EZA, with the 30% extra damage reduction, which stacks on top of the 28%, he becomes just another high school Gohan, just another great tank. I think he's really good. He's like almost a, what do you guys think? A must-have Defenders of Justice, maybe?
I mean, he definitely fits. The one thing that does just annoy me, I mean, this goes back to Videl, but it's just frustrating that they toss her on this team of all these great Saiyaman and stuff like that. And it's just things like Hero of Justice and stuff like that, like Supreme Power, like these common links that a lot of these like Gohan and Great Saiyaman units have, they just didn't give to her. There's no reason why to explain it, right? Like Brainiacs. Like she could have Brainiacs, Supreme Power, Hero of Justice. Would allowed her to work. Hero of Justice would have been very good.
Yeah.
I mean, especially because Jiren, so those Jiren units have it. A lot of the Pride Troopers have it. So.
It's a very good link. Attack plus 25%.
And it gives a 5% chance to perform crit too.
Yeah, if you have it linked level 10. which I don't.
Oh, I mean, there's only one way to have these units in League level 10.
But yeah, I think out of the group, I find the most value from Great Saiyaman. And then Yamu and Spopovich, I feel like I'm the truth now. Is like not good. Turn count too many. I've experienced it now. Where like he gets a defense bonus of 20% each time he receives an attack, but like you barely. It's so hard to get that cap. I wish they just increased it like 30%, 40%. It would just like save an extra turn or something like that. I do like that they improve some of the things. Of course, with every Extreme Z Awakening, you know, extra attack and defense. I do love the lowering attack and defense. That helps out with the other Majin Buu Saga LRs like Dipura and Barbity and Buu and Barbity. I just think they just made him a little bit more consistent with the damage output. That's pretty much it with like the disabling enemy's guard. There's nothing really special, but they're still really strong though. Like they were strong beforehand anyway, so. Yeah, that is the summary of all the free-to-play cards.
Yeah,
there also
perfect.
is another one coming out soon, the Great Saiyaman and Videl, but it's weird. I don't like why they're not releasing the event. I don't know.
They're really good too, like because I think they're part of the April Fool's thing too, because they're tied to that like thing with like sorry we're not releasing the mode. Here's like this free-to-play unit instead.
Yep.
Yeah, they're super good on that team.
Yeah.
The defenders.
Yeah, they are really good.
Absolutely.
Yep. Because they're a support unit for that category. They give crit chance. So.
Yeah, 3 key, 18% attack, defense, and 18% crit chance. Very good.
What if they never release it? What if it's a full-on April Fool's?
Well, they already that theory might be true, but they already said in game that they're releasing them. So.
Did they? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
one more question for me. That's going back to Videl real quick. How do you guys build her in the potential system? Do you go with additional or crit?
I went even. I think my Videl has 14 additional, 14 crit.
I mean, looking at her, I'd say even as well, to be honest. I mean, she already gets a guaranteed additional, so I mean, that's kind of sorted out, but at the same time, you want her to crit at points, right? So.
People will point out that she's super effective against all types, but that is not guaranteed whatsoever. So many turns, they don't even attack in that first slot. Many times, then she doesn't dodge and she just takes it, right? So some crit is still good on her for sure.
I think I would go. She's STR. Let's think.
She's STR.
I guess that would be what 12 additional 9 crit.
No, Kers and my Videl does have 3 dodge. Every unit gets
15
3
additional 11 crit. I think is what it would be.
Yeah, it should be something like that.
15. I think I would go 15 additional 11 crit on her.
So yeah, full additional here.
Yeah, because it's more important to get that extra defense stack, I think, on her super.
Okay. Yeah, with that said, we can move over to the next topic for today. And yeah, this is a pretty surprising one. I guess nobody expected that kind of easy A. But Agl Tapion Hirudegan is getting an Extreme Z battle, and yeah, with that, an Extreme Z Awakening. What do you guys think about that? And yeah, some people actually speculated that JP might get new ESBR stages with that, and if that happens, that's actually kind of sad for Global, because Global still did not get their stages.
Yeah, please, I want to see what people say.
I mean, it'll be really funny. I am not gonna lie.
The problem I see with the
I'll be fine with it. Sure, whatever, right? Like, just let's go. Let me see.
At
the
this
tweets
point,
and the comments.
At this point, I feel like what they're trying to do is, I mean, I think the last 2 times both JP and Global got their new stages were at the same time, were they? Or at least the last time. So I think they might just be trying to get both versions to release SBR stages at the same time, which is really odd.
The issue I find with ESBR is that if they do release it, it's just Ginyu Force. Do they have to easy aid them or something like that in order to release the...
No. We're going to get our Dokkan Fest Ginyu first.
Yeah.
He's coming.
Okay.
Yep.
Only 6 years
just
later.
easy them.
He'll get top grossing, Grish, right? For real.
I don't know if they'll get top grossing, but they'll get higher than 6, I think.
Toku Sentai? That's come on, that's number 1. Stop playing.
I don't know about number 1. Just being realistic, it's probably going to be like 4. Is my guess. If it's the same conditions as right now, which there probably won't be. There'll probably be something out by then. Another good game.
And then he'll transform into Goku Ginyu. That would be so sick. Oh, man.
Yeah, that animation would be so good.
But yeah, let's move back to Agl Tapion. Do you think he needs an easy A or not?
Yes.
What is your opinion about that? So yeah, Truth, go ahead.
Well, remember, the thing about Agl Tapion getting an easy A is that right now the theme they're pushing down our throats is movies, and he's on both movie heroes and movie bosses. So he's buffing both. So he's actually a perfect easy A to drop, anytime in this next 6 months, because it's very clear that Worldwide Dental Celebration is going to be movies. Like, that's just so obvious.
The number one thing I want to see them change about him is giving his laser skill 4 key and then make it 170 across the board.
I don't think
they could do 160. That's fine because it's the same thing they did for Realm of Gods. If they want to do that, that's fine. Obviously, giant form I would consider to be a worse category than Realm of Gods, which means 170 I think is pretty acceptable. But the biggest thing is if they change the key from 3 to 4, because that would impact the giant transformation a lot.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, because they're starting to give a lot of the newer units some sort of thing to help them out in that transformation, like the units like Cumber and stuff like that, where in their 8th form they're actually getting extra key. But obviously a lot of the older units don't have that, so I think that would be really useful for him to have that extra key. And that's something hopefully they'll change with his, with the Hirudegarn part of his card once he easy A's as well, having some sort of extra ability that he has to either make him hit harder or obviously having some extra key. Because the problem with the Giant Form team in general now is with Link level update making such a huge impact to units in the game, it actually makes the Giant Form like units even weaker, because once they transform, they're not going to be doing as much as like a fully Link level team would be. So hopefully they give some sort of extra abilities, like even if it's something like raising attack, built-in chance to crit, like that kind of thing. Hopefully his the actual Hirudegarn side of his card gets some decent upgrades as well.
Okay, anybody else about the Extreme Z Awakening for Tapion?
Not really. I mean, I'm down for it. I personally think it means a bit more. I feel like we could potentially be seeing what we're probably going to get in Golden Week. But that's my personal prediction, is that we're probably going to get Hirudegarn and SSJ3 Goku. It's been a while now since we've gotten an SSJ3 Goku as well. So this would be the perfect time for them to drop a new Dragon Fist Goku. As well as a new Tapion / Hirudegarn. I know people have been saying Res F and Battle of Gods and whatnot, but I personally think it's time. It fits well. It's the last movie of Dragon Ball Z. Goes well. Golden Week, Golden Dragon Fist kind of. That's a bit of a reach for me, but that's just me being a bit reaching there. But no, on a real, I'm looking forward to this easy as well. Like everybody else mentioned, Giant Form kind of needs it, and I'd be down to see what they do with him. I mean, they have been very kind with EZAs lately. I think they kind of realized how much they messed up with Tech Broly, and since then it's been relatively good across the board with a majority, if not all, of the EZAs they've released. So I'm not too stressed until we see what happens.
I think Tapion, real quick, he should give key to the whole rotation, because it's like you look at his Link set, dude, and it's just...
Yeah.
I mean, guess he'll have Revival on movie bosses with Golden Frieza and Bojack, but like he does nothing on movie heroes. Like, they got to give him something to make him actually runnable, right? So.
Yeah, Gale gave me... Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say, so I mean, his one will probably come later using the medals from this same event, but it's a shame they're not doing the Tech one at the same time, because obviously running those two together on teams like Resurrected Warriors was always a good rotation, but assuming they're just going to wait to do his one.
You point that out, like, I'm probably more interested in the Tech Tapion, actually. A Rainbow Orb Changer on Revived
so
Warrior, Time Traveler, movie hero, sibling bond. Yeah. Yes, please.
Okay, so yeah, Gale gave me an idea, and I think in 1 or 2 weeks a legendary summon banner should drop, and Some people think that LR Tapion will drop with that. So what's your opinion about that, Goresh?
Real
What
quick.
do you think? Or what truth? Yeah, go ahead.
It's just super. I try and get in and out, right? Super quick. Last year, the Dokkan Fest was Blue Kauk and Goku, and the LR was Vegeta and Nappa, right? So
Yeah.
just remember that.
Yeah, I was gonna say because the Dokkan Fest obviously being Videl, I don't think that is really indicative of what we're gonna get for a legendary summon banner. Like, what are we gonna get? Like like an LR Gohan, like from that base form version. Like, I don't know.
A great Saiyaman. You could get a new great Saiyaman.
I think what they could do is they could do a new LR, and then they could easy the Great Saiyaman 1 and 2 from the friend summon, I guess.
Gosh, you're talking golden right now. I love you.
Yeah, dude, that unit, like, they already give 4 key to Superclass. Like, on that Videl team, they would be disgusting with an easy 8.
Yeah, so I think whatever legendary summon banner we're getting, it probably won't be related to the what we're getting in this celebration at all. I think it's just going to be completely different.
I don't know.
LR
Last year,
Garlic
well,
Tapion.
Let's go.
the only reason why I think I feel otherwise, and I think it'll be related, is because last year, to be fair, we did also have the whole LR Prime Battle Krillin at the same time as what's his face, SSB Kauk and
Vegeta
Goku.
Nappa.
Yeah,
Okay,
and then
so
it led into Vegeta and
What
Nappa.
prime battle are we rocking this year?
I mean, we don't have one. That's the whole point I'm trying to make. Is that's probably the reason why they might keep it linked to the celebration instead. Is what my thought process is. And I still think it'll be linked. I think we'll probably get an LR Great Saiyaman or something instead.
Just occasionally they do that.
I mean,
where
hey,
just
it's uni-
completely-
They've been trying to do something out of the park and out of the box, I
Yeah.
should say, not out of the park. I wouldn't be surprised if it's an LR Great Saiyaman or something unique like that.
It could just be like any Peppy Gal LR, right? I mean, look what. Maybe
Or
they
that,
could do
yeah.
like an LR Chi-Chi. I don't know.
Bulma,
I mean,
LR Bulma.
Or LR Bulma, yeah.
Literally, how about Bulma from episode 1? Honestly, the one I would like to see is Bulma from Namek, because someone in chat said, what would her super attack animations be? As though Bulma hasn't been in 600 episodes doing all types of stuff, but she uses all those robots. Yeah. She uses all those robots on Namek to collect the Dragon Balls. Like, that's easy super attack animations right there.
You say that, what has she done on Legends? Just take that, what she's done on Legends, shoot guns. There you go, rockets, boom. It's not that difficult, it's not that hard. Like, you don't have to shoot key blasts. Legends has taught us that. So it's fine if Bulma shoots guns as well.
Literally, like, there's, like, gag moments where she pulls out, like, a giant mallet and, like, slaps Roshi with it, right? Like,
Yeah.
something like that. Like,
Okay, yeah, I'm very excited about the legendary summon banner as well, and yeah, we talked about this today during the AMA on our public Discord server. If you are not part of the public Discord server, make sure to join right away, and if you are subscribed to 5-9 Gaming on Twitch or on YouTube, if you're a YouTube member, you can take part in those meetings as well. So yeah, with that said, let's move on to the next topic, and yeah, Global just got Pikkon and Janemba. Yeah, we did a video on 5-9 Gaming of Pikkon and Janemba, and the question is towards our guests here. Were they worth the wait? What about the banners, the discounts, the tickets? Did you summon on there? Let's start with Goresh. Go ahead. What do you think?
So I think the discounts and stuff like that they're all really, really good. Obviously, Pilaf's Trove, you get the 2 rounds of the premium tickets. So that gives you a guaranteed featured unit. Obviously, you have to. The only downside to that is you have to purchase the packs, all the packs in the shop, and then that unlocks like the highest level pack, and that's the premium ticket. I think it's like a $35 pack, and you can buy it twice. But it is a multi that guarantees a featured unit, which is definitely worth it. So I would recommend if you're somebody who's willing to spend that kind of money on the game, then definitely go for it. It's definitely more value than just buying stone straight up. Even though the sales are not horrible, but they're not good. The same day sales were way better. Just saying. But yeah, I mean, this is 3+1. You get the discounts initial rotation on there. You get the tickets. You get the tickets for summoning on there as well. Not just the Pilaf's Trove. You get tickets for summoning, just doing multis in the band. So the value's there. I mean, these banners are not horrible. They're not exceptional. But I would say if you're somebody who's sort of like on the fence about summoning, definitely do the discount, do the first rotation on both banners, and then reevaluate.
real quick, Grish, do you like the equipment that comes in those Pilaf packs?
I mean, most of it sucks. There's like one good one, which is like the level 3 additional for tech, right?
Yeah, I wish I could get one of those. It'd be nice.
I mean, to be fair, they might be coming with whatever they're doing with the subscription pack. Probably they will.
Oh yeah, because there's a whole screen there that's empty. Oh yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think this is a good way for them to test it out on JP and then see if people are interested, and then add the other packs and stuff. I assume.
Please, yes.
So-
Yeah, Pikkon and Janemba. I mean, cool. Summon for discounts. If you really like Pikkon and Janemba, summon for them. I mean, Pikkon's actually, in my opinion, kind of decent. Actually, people just slate him because it's Pikkon more. So I like his active skill. I like his passive. It's better than Janemba's restrictions. Let's be honest. I still don't like the whole orb thing and whatnot. But, I mean, overall, he's a solid unit. It's just that he's Pikkon and his links are questionable. But, yeah.
The leader skills, I think, are what's the most underrated point of both of them, too. Is
I
they're
agree.
130
Yeah.
to super and extreme class, which is the highest we've seen for
100%.
any class right now, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100% agree.
Right,
I think they just go under the... I mean, Janemba is definitely not worthy to talk about. I don't understand why. I don't understand what they're doing with Dokkan Fest exclusive extreme tech units. Both the last two have been god awful for some reason, and I don't understand why. But Pikkon actually is kind of decent. I think people just slide him, underrate him because it's Pikkon, you know. But, yeah.
Well, you don't like the EZA for Super Saiyan 3 Broly?
Let's not talk about it, big man. Let's not talk about it. Bro, I swear, the only good extreme tech unit they've released in the last couple of months has been goddamn Raditz. How is it possible that you mess up every single extreme tech, man? It's a year ago.
Dude,
Never mind. It's even worse than I thought.
Dude, Exchange Boo sucks. Like, you do realize that not only do those bastards have like a turn 8 restriction basically to use their active skill, they also have an HP restriction on it. It's so stupid. Like, you go in the God event, oh, I'm gonna transform with Boo. No, you're not.
Yeah.
no.
It's.
No.
I think
Super Boo
there's.
coming.
If we want to include, I guess, SSJ for Broly, but I feel he's limited, so it's kind of hard to include him because you can only get him like once every year, and even then now it'll be harder because he's unfeatured if you don't have him
And he
already.
needs grade A power too. That's the problem. He's
Another
not good
thing,
for
yeah.
music. Yeah.
Exactly. So you're only gonna have Raditz and I guess the free-to-play Golden Frieza they released, and that's it. That's all we've gotten for Extreme Tech in the last year and a half, and it's like,
Hey,
bro.
hey. Don't forget about the fantastic EZA for Marseille.
Yeah, true. Massane as well. Yeah, we'll give it to Massane as well. Actually, really good. Yeah.
Well, yeah, so funnily enough, because he's on Janemba's category, he's actually gone from being completely useless in Super Battle Road because he literally didn't have a passive before his EZA. He's actually quite decent on Janemba's team, but
I mean, that's
Janemba.
gotta be.
Go on.
I was gonna say that's got to be the strat you're working on to do it, right? Double Janemba. I feel like that would do it pretty easily, right?
I don't know. It's tricky because obviously his orb restriction thing is so like wonky. Because if you don't get the 4 type orbs and the 2 rainbow orbs, he does not tank very well without items active. But Janemba is definitely like, so for me, as a global player, obviously we saw all the stuff about these guys when they came out, and then we've been waiting to get our hands on them to use them. And I agree with Gale, like Pikkon is decent and he's kind of fun to use. I know like it doesn't really make any sense, but I think his unit super attack animation is really cool. But honestly, I haven't been this disappointed in a unit for quite some time until I first actually put together the team and used Janemba. Like, I think he's so underwhelming. The restriction pre-transformation with the 4 type orbs and 2 rainbow orbs is just too much. The fact that he doesn't have key links, so you pretty much like you're banking on trying to get those 4 type orbs every time just to give him that little bit of extra key.
Oh wait a minute, you think units that come out in 2021 should have key links, huh?
I mean, it would be nice. But,
Interesting. Okay.
The one thing I do like, but I think the restriction is bad. It would be cool if it was easier. But one thing I do like is with both of them, when you pick up the type orbs and you get that boost to the rest of the team, the fact that it includes key as well, because you can be a little bit strategic with your rotations. Like when I did the run with his team earlier, to try and make sure you can get the type orbs with him, it means you could say, for example, if you put him in slot 2, have your unit in slot 1, like if we're talking about extreme tech, it could be Golden Freezer. You could deliberately only pick up like 1 or 2 orbs with the Freezer, meaning that he's like 1 or 2 key short of super attacking, but so that it drops enough orbs down so you can then pick up the 4 type orbs and 2 rainbow orbs with Janemba, and then that gives everybody on the rotation extra key, so it boosts them up to then
This is some
actually having
insane
their super
strats.
attack. Yeah, so I quite like that. It's just the fact that because the restriction is so bad, like sometimes you just can't get it at all, and then half the rotation can't super attack because he doesn't give them any key links. So
Yeah, I think for me, literally all they have to do to make the Tech Janemba way better is they just reduce the 4 to 2 and then the Rainbow Orb to 1, and he's like instantly really good.
Right.
Yeah,
So
100%
there
agree with that.
there really isn't that much they have to do to make him like usable. The only really big thing that I have to say about him is the fact that I really don't like the way that they created the transformation for him. His transform version, they weren't even close. Like he's not even close to being what he should be.
yeah, because Super
Real
Janemba
quick.
has always been like that character that is, you know, the defensive wall, and then like both the int and the STR one are just so much better than the transform tech one. It's really weird.
The thing that's weird is that Pikkon doesn't need it as much, but he gets basically an auto super with a rainbow orb. Like, I don't understand why
Yeah.
Janemba doesn't get that too.
He's just undertuned. He's just way too undertuned is what they did with him. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pikkon is, I don't know. I enjoy Pikkon. Like, I feel like he gets a lot done everywhere.
He's good.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's.
he's
I
funny.
think they did a good job with Pikkon. I have no issues. I'm just not
I
interested in him as a character. But that's
Yeah, no,
my
yeah,
own problem with it.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I think the problem as well, like Goresh was saying about their leader skill, and it is cool to have that sort of across the board super and extreme types with the slightly higher number. But like overall, I'm not a huge fan of the way they've done their leader skills, because their main category that they lead is quite small and quite restricted. Especially when it comes to, I tried to make teams when I first took them out for a spin of just using the units that were in that category. Both of them are kind of lacking in good support units, so they have that secondary leader skill, so you can then bring any super or extreme unit you want. But then obviously in a harder mode, you're then running those units under the lower leader skill, whereas obviously now that we're in the category meta where there's so many categories that you can use, where all the units will be getting like a full 170 boost, it just makes that team like weaker overall. Yeah, I think that I like the idea of having that split with the super type thing, but like the category that they have as their main leader skill, I think is slightly too restrictive.
The one thing I really like
know.
about Pikkon a lot is I really like the risk that they took. Well, I don't really know if it's a huge risk in this case, but I really like what they did with the active skill. I feel like it's a good step in the right direction that we might see for in the future with like different types of effects on active skill, instead of just like, oh, it's an attack, oh, it's a power up, or it's a buff, or whatever. I like
Yeah,
that
I
effect a
really
lot.
love that. I really love that. It's like it's basically a ghost usher, right? So it's really unique. Being able to see potentially like, you know, a future unit that can do something completely fresh would be
Oh,
interesting
dude,
as well.
like Ginyu with the Scouter. Boom, see super attacks.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Something like that. Something unique, like seeing super attacks, or being able to change, like, or get everybody to attack one slot or something like that. Something unique like that would be insane down the line.
Yeah, what was that thing we were talking
but-
about on that one stream where it's like you can redirect all attacks to the end or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Was
That's what I was
Gogeta,
kind
a
of.
taunt, Gogeta
Yeah.
taunt. Someone was
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because we've seen with Turles, obviously now that they're adding in the possibility for having an active skill that can be used multiple times. So like Truth just said, if you have, say for example, Dokkan Ginyu, and he has an active skill which is using the Scouter to detect where the enemy super attack is, that could easily be something that you could then have like more than one use of, because it's not like, even though obviously it is super useful, it's not like an insane battle ending buff, so that could easily be a thing that you could then use multiple times, which would be really cool.
Okay, so we just had a little moment of silence, and I think that was appropriate because Toon summoned for Janemba and he didn't get him within 2,000 stones. So yeah, I don't know if this is the reason why he is not here today. So shout out to June. Poor man.
Yeah, that's. I was very shocked when I heard that because that's the thing. Like Truth was saying, JP players jelly about the those ticket packs. I got those premium like the PLAF ticket packs, and I pulled both Pikkon and Janemba from those ticket packs. So that's a nice bonus for being on global for a change.
Yeah, those ticket packs. I pulled 2 Janembas from one from the premium and then one from the normal 10 tickets that I got from those.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, pretty good.
I mean, all I got was 2 Trunkses and 1 Angels and Moses, so I was very happy with that, I guess.
That's good.
Oh, the happiest I can be, probably, but, not much can happen with that.
Alright, so we are still not done with the episode, so let's talk about, let's continue with Global and talk about LR Krillin. The campaign, the legendary campaign, takes place right now, and Fanta, you played with Krillin for a while. Do you think that this is still a great unit now that Broly got his easy A, and are you still going to use him for the World Tournament? Yeah,
100%. 100%. He's still so good. And then, I mean, Earthlings is still a very good category for free-to-play. And then you always got to think about the future. Like, eventually he's going to get the easy A, and then he's just, even more busted than before. And it's always good to have, like, another AoE unit on the team for World Tournament. Since both versions are having the World Tournament as well, or assuming Global does have their World Tournament this month.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Yeah, he's really good. He's really good. If you haven't farmed him, you should definitely. It's worth it, and it's good for you for the collection.
So, ask a question to the Global gang here. Are you already done with Krillin, and have you just collected the rewards? What's the situation for you guys?
Just need to get him to
Yeah,
SC20.
Yeah, that's the thing. Obviously, for us, obviously as like content creators, of course, as soon as he came out, I grinded like crazy to get him done as soon as possible. So that is the nice thing for us. The legendary campaigns for the Prime Battle LRs are super useful for other players if you didn't have the time, or if you've got a low account level, you don't have a lot of stamina, all that kind of stuff. It's a really good way for you to catch up. And then obviously for other people, whether you're a content creator or not, if you're somebody who does grind all of this stuff as soon as it's released, it's just a nice little bonus bunch of free stuff for you. So.
Yeah, I mean, these Prime Battle events are a perfect way to just like spend your stamina very fast, right? If you have like, let's say you finished Dokkan Awakening, something you just pulled, and you have leftover stamina, just throw it into these Prime Battles, right? It's going to take a long time to finish them, and you might as well just get them done like slowly but surely, right?
Yep. I mean, it's kind of like link leveling. Instead of link leveling, just work on the Prime Battle LRs for a couple of weeks or something, right? Instead.
Yeah, I would definitely say that working on the Prime Battle units is much more worth your stamina as a free-to-play player rather than trying to link level.
Exactly. I mean, especially now that we know, how EZAs are coming for each and every single one of these units and whatnot. Obviously, we have Goku, Frieza. Next one should be Trunks.
Yes.
Was it Trunks or Vegeta?
Yeah,
Yep,
Trunks,
right?
Trunks
Trunks
and then
is next,
Vegeta.
then Vegeta, then Krillin. So it's inevitably going to come
then
around,
Cell,
right?
then Krillin.
Oh, Cell! I forgot about Cell. That's another extreme tech unit. I suppose that'll help out quite a bit. No, but I really enjoyed the LR Cell. He's link level 10 for me because my full Cell squad. But
Actually.
Yeah, I mean that Cell team full link level 10. Ooh, it's too good. But yeah, it's well worth it to get every single one of these Prime Battle LRs, especially considering how well they did LR Frieza, right? With his EZA, so it's really worth it for any free-to-play player.
Yeah, the only thing we'll have to wait and see is if they require the Frieza to be on your team, EZA, to be able to attempt the Trunks one. Because then if they're going to keep doing that trend, you're going to have to eventually get all of them done to take on all the stages, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the biggest problem, the biggest problem with that though, Goresh, is that people still can't buy the stupid Krillin from the shop if they haven't. So if people can't get Frieza done, they can't get Trunks done. If they can't get Trunks done, they can't get Vegeta done.
What is this Krillin issue?
So on Global, you can only purchase the STR Krillin from the Baba shop a set amount of times. So for people that purchased that Krillin, like for SA fodder or whatever, prior to them knowing that he was going to be necessary for the stage, they actually can't do the stage because they can't rainbow him.
It's the same
I
thing with
see, I
Cooler. If
see.
you did buy Cooler for some reason, if you bought Cooler for Cooler's SA fodder, for some reason, but yeah.
Because isn't
That
the
is-
like the JP version? They're just you can buy them infinite times or something, right?
Yeah.
This is a prime example of the disconnect that they have with just issues that are happening on global.
That's a true global shaft here.
Yes,
Yep.
it is.
Like seriously,
indeed a
that is
global
bad,
shaft.
really.
Global Shaft
That
is
is
a
really
culture,
bad.
man.
It's both.
I mean, that's the thing. Is that it literally is because if you're one of those people, like I said, you literally cannot do the Frieza EZA. So if they do carry on that trend, you're going to be very stuck. And then of course,
Like-
if they do carry on that trend, imagine the barrier that creates for if you're
Yeah,
somebody who is fairly new to the game, and we've just got we've just got the EZA for like Krillin, and to
Yep.
do Krillin's one, you have to have Cell and so on and so forth. And you're somebody who's coming in like right at the beginning.
Yeah, you're gonna be.
I mean,
taking a while.
it's like I don't care if it's just like if it was just like, oh, I can't do Frieza, that's fine. But the problem is knowing how they handled Goku to Frieza, you're gonna need Frieza for Trunks, and based on trend, right? That's just gonna affect all the LRs.
Yeah.
That at that point, nobody can do the other LRs at all. Then, so it's a bigger problem in that sense. If you could just skip out on one LR, that's fine because inevitably they could fix it, or inevitably
Yeah.
they should add it. Is my saying. But
That's.
yeah.
I'm actually quite surprised because obviously people meme and stuff, and like global, like they make some weird mistakes and do some weird stuff sometimes. But like I saw people as soon as this issue first came up, people were tweeting about it and like pointing it out, the fact that like because they hadn't done this shop upgrade, it meant that certain people were literally locked out of doing the thing, and yet they still haven't fixed it, which I find very strange.
That's that's the whole disconnect that they have is they just don't have a way to directly see players' feedback about global because it's a language thing. I'm telling you right now, that's why I think it happens, because it's a language thing.
Yeah.
And it's something that Dokkan has always been really bad at.
Yeah. It's so odd because it's like, they did half of the update and then the Incredible Gem shop didn't get the update, and it was like, why though? Considering you updated half the shop, why was the other half just left alone, kind of thing, right? So it's such an odd move. But yeah, it's just, I hope they do fix it because I know a lot of people. I mean, we have some people in 5-9 as well who can't do LR Frieza because they used up the Krillin. So it's like, well then, tough
Oh,
luck,
God.
I suppose.
Oh man. Yeah, so with that said, let's just move on. That's just too sad. I cannot take this anymore. Okay.
Alexa, play Despacito.
Let's talk about a potential part 2 of this campaign. Or well, I think it's already confirmed that you guys on Global get a part 2 for this celebration, right?
I think
It
yeah,
should
there's something
be.
in the missions or something, isn't there?
Yeah.
Or some
Yeah.
data mined for the missions.
Yeah,
we
so-
have to get one considering what's left over, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
So
this
is
is
there-
the weird position that we find ourselves in now because we're what is it? It's the beginning of April, so we've
Yeah,
got
we have a long
almost 3
time.
months until the anniversary, and the only thing we know for sure that is coming between now and then, like once this Pikkon and Janemba part finishes, is the Goten and Trunks Dokkan Fest. So
Right.
they've got to do something because that's a lot of space to fill.
Yeah, well, okay, let's just take a look at what we're missing from this celebration, because there's the Prime Battle Bobbity and Boo that we haven't
Yep.
done yet, right?
Yep.
There's the
That's a
EZA for STR Janemba, which should come out as part 2.
Yep.
Then there's the EZA for the Saiyan Saga,
No,
Vegeta, and
that's,
Goku.
That's
This
that's
part.
already in this.
Yeah, that's this
Oh,
part.
okay.
It's,
Janemba's
this
already there.
it's this upcoming Wednesday.
The EZA for Vegeta and Goku from the Saiyan Saga, we don't have that yet.
Yeah.
And then there's the, I think there's the chain battle for the Vegeta as well.
Yes,
So those
that-
3 things we're missing.
Well,
I-
okay, so
I think
the
they'll
chain
make
battle,
up part 2, to be honest.
The
of
chain
part,
battle is definitely delayed because they've been behind on those, right? Like they
Yeah.
just did the Gohan and Bojack one, right? So like it's like that chain battle is gonna come, but it's gonna be like 3 weeks late, right? Like it's gonna be like the start of May or something like that.
So it's
I
gonna be
think
the
they
World
should. I
Tournament
think they
then,
should.
yeah?
I think they should just have a chain battle every celebration, just consistently, like just
Yeah.
push it out. It's the only way to get skill orbs,
Yes.
and the skill orb system sucks since day one. So I mean, just
And the thing
push
is,
them out.
the thing is, it's not even like I understand why they might do like skip like World Tournament because maybe they want to add new units. That takes time in designing, I suppose. I'll give them that much credit, and I suppose also because too many, people don't have the time to keep doing a World Tournament every celebration. Chain Battle isn't that kind of like daunting, time-consuming levels of tedious, right? So people can literally do it whenever they want. So
I will log in once in a 24-hour period, knock out all my chain battles in like 15 minutes, and I'm done.
Yeah, same. I literally do the same as well. It's not that difficult. So
You're not resigned to hell when the World Tournament is around.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah,
so it's like
we don't talk about that.
we don't talk about that. Yeah, like World Tournament, you have to spend like hours and hours. Like I mean, some of us know here who stream. Like we spend 6-7 hours on stream, literally just all right, tap, go back, tap, go back, refill stamina, go in, back out. So chain battle
That's
happening every
content.
celebration, I think, would be fantastic as compared to like a World Tournament every celebration. That would be hell.
The biggest
Yeah, I think
concern that I
I'll,
have. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think I'll stream the World Tournament a lot. What is it? A week. In exactly a week, JP has World Tournament.
Yep.
I'll
The
probably
biggest
stream
concern that I have with the World Tournament coming up on Global is because this one was delayed. They're gonna do this World Tournament, and then the next one's gonna be like 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Oh god.
I don't think so. When was the last Global World Tournament?
No, I think
While
they
back.
delayed. I had a quick look at this when I was looking at all the stuff when Global was broken for that week, and it's it looks like from the distance between the last couple of World Tournaments, they pushed this next one back to pretty much when the next one would have been anyway.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's
That's why
kind
I'm
of fits in
concerned.
the schedule. So the gap is normally the same amount. So I'm assuming that they've just kind of, that's why they pushed it back so far, is they've just skipped one completely, and so the next one will again be the same gap. I assume.
They skipped it completely, or they just don't care and they're gonna push another one out in like a week after.
Well,
this
yeah, I
one.
mean, exactly. I mean,
They could release another chain battle.
Oh man. But yeah, no.
Right, Global.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, Global.
What's up?
Grush, you don't remember when Global's last World Tournament was?
It was like what? It was like January, right?
It was New Year's.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
god, I
remember.
remember. It was New Year's weekend. Oh my
It was
god.
January 1st. Yeah.
Yeah.
January 1st, 1:30 a.m. An hour and a half after the ball dropped. I love that.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, no, that's
That's over 3 months ago.
God. Gosh,
JP,
man.
dude, JP hasn't had one since like mid-December.
Yeah, because you guys had it right before us. I remember that one. Yeah.
Yeah, JP's was the 18th of December.
But
Cannot
anyway,
wait for the next World Tournament. Yay.
By the way, hello. This should have been the new local LR, but it was Demon King Piccolo's on the picture
Mhm.
again. So
Yeah, I think it might be the next one now. To be honest. But
All right, let's
well.
quickly give our speculations on what we think is going to happen on Global in between now and the anniversary. We know Goten and Trunks is really likely, right before the anniversary. But what about in between now and that?
it's got to be a global first.
I think May
Yeah.
is
Uh,
probably going to be a Global and JP at the same time. Because it seems like they're just pushing those more now rather than actual just like Global first stuff.
I think we're gonna get a global first though. We were talking about
I
this in
really
the,
would hope not, dude, because they can't do it without fucking up.
I think I don't disagree with
mean,
you, but
hopefully they could.
I said this to Sunblade and Ningen during the AMA. We were like, oh, what's the plan for global and what do you think? And I was like, yeah, I definitely think it's gonna be a Goten and Gohan situation. We'll get the Tanabata unit first, and it's gonna be Goku and Vegeta, Angel, and it's gonna be the Gogeta version of SR Vegeta. Calling
JP
it.
would riot if that was a
Because
global
it's a
first.
duo, it fulfills all the conditions. It's a duo unit. It fits in well with this whole celebration leading into that probably as well. And yeah, and we need it. We need that
I mean,
Gogeta as well at some point.
They
So
easily could, so it would just mimic Gohan and Goten and Broly, right? So like
Exactly.
they do Gogeta right there, and then that could just be Tanabata for JP, right?
exactly, that's what I'm thinking. Yes, that's
So
my
I
thought
think,
process.
we talked about this quite a bit, I think, last time when we talked about the possibility, and I know it's something, it's always been a talking point about the possibility of the games syncing up at some point, but the reason it's come up a lot more recently is obviously we are now closer to JP than we've ever been. Like, we are basically, apart from the new Videl that's just come out, we're like one Dokkan Fest and the anniversary away from being in exactly the same place. So I do think, like Truth said, we could potentially see something that drops on both versions at the same time. But if they drop a global first, that could be another step towards the syncing up, because then when we're getting, like, say, Videl, JP could then get the thing that was the global first, and then the two versions are even closer together. So
I still don't think they'll sync up.
If it is a global first, I feel like the chances of them syncing up become even more likely.
I don't think so, honestly. You
Would you
forget how
want-
much of a dead period we have in like the second half of the year. I mean, and you remember how bad it was. They had to release they released a rerun banner on Global last year. Do you not remember
quick,
that?
That's the reason why they should sync them up then, because then they don't have to do stuff like that.
The reason Global gets so close is because you have like a 2-month period at the start of the year where there's like January and February, you have like one Dokkan Fest in there, but it's just like such a huge gap where
Yep.
there's not one. And then Global in that period closes in, because they usually drop 2 at that same time, right?
Mm-hmm, yep. 2 to 3 even at points, yeah. Yeah, no, I think it'll be a Gogeta for me personally. I think it'll lead into Gogeta. This whole celebration feels like it'll lead into Gogeta for us.
I mean, as a global player, that would be amazing, but I don't know if I could see them dropping something that is that, like, on that level of hype as a global first. I don't
Wait,
know.
what did he say?
The
Gogeta.
Gogeta version of, like, the STR for Geo, basically.
I would argue that Broly is way more hype than that. For
I was
Goku.
about to even Family Kamehameha, Gohan and Goten.
No.
I don't know.
Broly is like a different level.
Oh yeah, no, Broly himself. Yeah,
You mean
Broly
like
is
the
hype.
when they released the tech Broly, then? You mean,
Yeah,
the-
everybody was complaining.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And I mean, I guess to be fair, STR UI Goku was a global first, and
Yeah.
people on JP weren't happy about that. So yeah, who knows? I guess they could.
Like even UI Goku, people weren't even complaining about that as much as Broly. Not even close.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, who knows then? I mean, I wouldn't complain, like I said, as a global player. But
Okay, with that said, let's go into the break, and once we return, we will take care of your questions you submitted to us. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, everywhere. Just open our link tree, and then you will have the chance to submit your questions for next week's podcast. And yeah, we'll be right back to you. Alright guys, we are back with episode 28, Long Live the Queen of the Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle podcast. And yeah, we got some amazing subs from you guys today. So yeah, I'll take Goresh. I would Goresh take over. Sorry, yeah, it's too late here in Germany. I'm sorry, like 2 a.m. here.
English hard.
So yeah, Goresh, go ahead.
As always, thank you guys for your support, and especially this week we want to thank Thanos Energy for the 4-month tier 1 sub, D's Nuts 38 for the 3-month prime. I don't know how to pronounce this.
Lackadaisical. Lackadaisical.
Oh, Lackadaisical with the prime sub, and then Medicine with the 5 months tier 1.
I feel like that person feels that their sub money was worth it just to be able to hear Goresh say these nuts.
I mean, as long as you're giving us money, that's fine.
Alright, so we had quite a bit of fun here. So let's move on to the questions. Again, if you want to submit your questions for the next Dokkan Battle podcast episode, make sure to follow us on Twitter, and once we send out the tweet, make sure to reply. Of course, you can submit your questions on our public Discord server as well. Make sure to join that one too. So let's jump to the first question here from Maverick. And Maverick asks, the introduction of Pikkon and Videl allows Dokkan to give recognition to not so popular characters. What units would you all want to see as a Dokkan Fest in the future? And for the love of God, don't say Garlic Jr.
Can you?
trying to think.
I would like a Dokkan Fest Hercule.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Running Earthlings 170 liter.
Hold on.
Boom,
Okay.
bam.
Earthlings, Earthlings and
Hold
World
on,
Tournament.
hold on. Because
what's up?
that would that could actually be the Legendary Summon Unit Part 2.
That's possible, yeah. A meme answer would probably be Hachiak, but I mean, I'd say probably something like a Android 19 and 20 combo unit probably would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's out there. Would be cool though. Like it would help androids as well and whatnot. So hey, that would be
I
cool.
remember there was like that fake rumor for the 2019.
Oh yeah, the friend summon. Yeah.
That would have been so smart though.
Yeah, it would have been
So
so
good.
smart, but you know.
For me, I want all 3 World Tournament winners from Dragon Ball to get it. Jackie Chun, Tien, and then Goku to all get Dokkan Fest from when they win the World Tournament.
Okay. Anyone else?
I can't think of it. I would have said some of the ones that have been said already, so I can't think of any more.
Okay, so let's move on to the next question here from Philip Rodriguez. Community can seem fickle when it comes to new units, Dokkan Fest, LR, etc. We want more than Saiyans and hype villains, but then we don't. What's the solution to meet on common ground? Do you think there is room for bad links to not be bad anymore when we get units in that support? Whoa, come on. Okay, let's do this again. Do you think there is room for bad links to not be bad anymore when we get units in that support them? Yep.
I think, okay, so I think, let me just summarize what the question is pretty much saying. He's saying, like, is there a way for people to be content with getting lesser popular characters, right? I think that's what the question's asking.
Yeah. I think
I think the biggest thing you have to understand when it comes to, like, the character selection in terms of what they release is it's all about the money, right? They don't care how much you like the characters. They don't care how much you know, certain characters cater to certain, you know, points of the community. They're going to have the characters going to make the most money. Like, there's a reason why, you know, these games don't drop, like, Dokkan Fest Cybermen, right?
Yeah.
It's just because it's not going to generate the money that they need. So, that, at the end of the day, that's how they decide on what they drop. They're not going to drop, like, if your favorite character is, like, I don't know, like, I really don't think they're going to release a Lord Slug Dokkan Fest. If your favorite character is Lord Slug, you're probably not going to get a Dokkan Fest. So, it's just, at the end of the day, their decisions are monetarily based. It's not just based off of, oh, you know, these categories need buffs. We're going to buff this category. They're not going to buff a category because it's going to impact the game's, you know, hemisphere of, you know, the different teams you can run. They're going to buff the teams that are going to benefit them the most financially.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't disagree with that.
Okay,
I mean,
that pretty much.
it would be nice if they start doing it now, considering they did try it out with Videl. For some reason, whatever goes on in their heads, we don't know.
I feel like
but
Videl was like a niche for like people
Yeah.
who really liked Videl, and then like when she comes back on future
Yeah.
banners, they'll be like, okay, I want to summon for Videl. Or something
exactly.
like that.
I think they were just dicking around.
Honestly, I think we can see this happening where they once a year we might see some random unit get a Dokkan Fest potentially now.
Once a
because
year, Gale, we just got Trunks and Goten and Pikkon. Like that's
True.
like,
Okay,
dude,
maybe two, maybe more than that. Maybe more.
It's like, dude, like, you guys, can we get a Saiyan? I'm okay with a traditional, you know, overhyped Saiyan. I'm tired of Pikkon and Videl all the time. Give me
The
give
only,
me Goku.
like, I guess it's possible that maybe they have a certain target for, like, the, you know, quarter 2 of the year, or quarter 1 of the year, or whatever, and let's just say they're way, like, over what they projected to make for the certain quarter, and then they're like, okay, since we're so ahead, why don't we just go ahead and experiment, and then we'll just throw out some random unit that nobody actually likes, and there'll be a Dokkan Fest, and we'll see how it does.
It's
That
not
I can see being
impossible.
probable. Yeah,
I
I
mean,
can see that actually
wasn't it the whole thing that this anniversary was like their highest grossing anniversary since 4 year pretty much? So I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibilities, to be honest. But yeah, I forgot what I was gonna say. Damn it. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it seems like, I mean, at this point, it also could be that, you know, we've come to a point where it's, you know, 6 years into the game. I think they might be also willing to try out something interesting once in a while. Although, like Truth said, it's been 3 times in a row, effectively, that they have tried something new. So, at this point, who knows?
Dude, Slug is getting a Dokkan first. I don't care.
Yeah, I think it's inevitable.
Yeah.
Android 13 got one, so he will get one too. That's my opinion.
I think you underestimate how unpopular Slug is.
Okay, so what about Android 13? Is he quote-unquote
I
popular?
would say
Well,
I would argue
Android-
he's way more popular than Slug.
Yeah, he's a
Right.
meme because of the English dub. So
Yeah, trucker head, huh?
yeah.
I also,
They don't care about things.
I mean,
No,
also, I'm
that's
not.
not why.
Oh
I'm
no,
not
I
gonna
mean, but
lie.
he's more popular because of the
Yeah.
English dub. I mean, that's more popular character with the community.
I also feel like, to be honest, it's also because he's an android versus Slug, who's an Namekian. I mean, outside of Piccolo, who's an interesting Namekian.
I mean, I will say the fact that they released Videl's Dokkan Fest means that they actually could do a Slug now. Like, I wouldn't even be
Yeah.
surprised if they did. Prior to Videl coming out, I would have probably said not likely. Now with Videl out, I'd probably say there's a decent chance that it does happen at some point. But he is very
Yeah.
unpopular.
Yeah.
Yeah, because people joked about like, oh, if Android 13 can get a Dokkan Fest, then XYZ can get one, or if Pikkon can get a Dokkan Fest, XYZ can get one. But now with Videl, I think that really is like, if Videl can get a Dokkan Fest, anyone can at this point.
I literally wouldn't even be. I wouldn't even be surprised if we got like a Oolong Dokkan Fest at this point.
Yeah. What about Kid Buu, man? You'll never get
Kid
one,
Buu?
huh?
Go first.
Kid
Come
Yeah.
back before the anniversary.
What's a Kid Buu? I don't understand this language you speak.
Yeah,
Okay, that means-
Kid Buu, the Part 2 Global First.
Oh god.
LR Oob is gonna come out before him.
That's right, yeah. I mean, he already has, technically. We
Nah,
have
summonable
another.
one. Summonable one.
I was about to say, we literally have one, though.
Yeah, that pretty much tells me that we should move over to the next question, so let's just do that. So the next question is from Ultra, and he asks, could Golden Week be something related to Wrath of the Dragon, the movie? Considering Tapion is getting an Extreme Z awakening. Though
Yes,
personally
yes,
I'm
yes,
hoping
yes.
for a Resurrection F celebration. Well, Gale already talked about this, but yeah, Gale, go ahead.
I 100% believe we're getting Wrath of the Dragon. It's been nearly, 4 years since... Wait, what? SSJ3... AGL SSJ3 Goku was the last one we got. So, 5 years ago now, since the last proper SSJ3 Goku. Of course, we got the LR Tech SSJ3 Goku and Angel Ku, but in terms of that Dokkan Fest event being updated, it's the oldest one that hasn't been updated, right? So I think it's high time we get one, and considering we're in this movie phase, it would fit perfectly well. Getting Agl Tapion's getting an EZA would flow super well into the whole thing of like, yeah, Wrath of the Dragon stuff now. Plus, having a having a Hirudegarn, and maybe a unit that starts off as Hirudegarn would be kind of cool. I don't know how they'd operate with that, but it would be nice to see how they do that potentially.
Plus, then you can easy A the tech LR Super Saiyan 3 Goku, potentially do a super attack update thing for him as well. So it depends, I guess, what the new unit would be, because obviously a new Goku that has the current quality animations like Dragon Fist super attack would be pretty amazing.
Yeah, it'll look really good. Yeah, I mean, they could do like some kind of like exchange thing. I don't know, because there's a lot of characters that fight in that movie, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because there's the Vegeta. Vegeta does that weird like barrier thing with to protect like the office building. It's like one of the only things I really
yep.
remember him doing. Like in
Yeah.
in that. But,
Yeah. Vegeta, the defender of corporate
defender of the
Japan.
Buildings.
humans, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and imagine if Super Saiyan 3 Goku gets an active skill and he screams Dragon Fire, like in the English dub movie.
God.
Yeah, I just want him to scream. Like, they'll probably take it from a game like they did SSJ to Gohan. I just want him to scream, if I don't, who will? That's all I want. If he says that in Dokkan, I will die a happy man. Well, probably not, because I'm still depressed, but for the most part I'll be happy.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Okay, so let's move on to the final question of today's episode, and this one is from Platty. How frequent do you think we can expect summonable LR EZAs? Goku and Frieza and STR Broly were relatively close together, but do you think that trend will continue? So Truth, go ahead. Do you have an opinion about this?
No, No, I think they're gonna remain with major celebrations. I mean, Saiyan Day is kind of iffy, but it's still not like a typical celebration, right? Like, so I think like we might see one for Golden Week, and then oh my God, 3 months in a row. But then like I don't think the next one will be for like many months, right? Like maybe at the end of July for Tanabata, worldwide, only like the big celebrations in the year, I think.
With counter, I think it'll be more so for Goku Day. I think they'll do it for Goku Day more so, I feel. Or whatever celebration we'll get with Goku Day. Because I feel like they're doing it like for celebrations that are gonna happen inevitably, or major celebrations that are happening on both Global and JP, and Goku Day is one of those that happen simultaneously, right? Saiyan Day is another one, anniversary and worldwide celebration. I think those 4 are gonna be the key ones we'll see these LR EZAs happen, I feel.
I mean, I'm sure they probably take that into account when they're planning like who the main unit will be and what the theme is going to be anyway. But I guess really for like any sort of celebration, it's probably more likely to be the bigger ones. But I feel like with the trend of where we saw these guys EZA, like obviously no one ever expected Goku and Frieza to be the first unit that got one, but because it was during the anniversary, it was obviously very relevant to the whole theme. So I think a good way they can push out some of those ones for some of the older LRs, or even ones that are sort of in the middle, I guess, in the timeline of when they came out, is if like ones that are relevant to whatever that celebration is, we could then see one of those older LRs getting an EZA.
Yeah, keep the LR EZAs on the major celebrations, and then the TUR EZAs will be like the consistent, you know, the every celebration kind of thing. That makes the most sense, and makes LR EZA still pretty interesting and hype before they run out again. Well, not again, but like they run out.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. Okay, so I think that we are done with episode 28, Long Live the Queen of the Dokkan Battle podcast. And with that, guys, I would like to thank you for tuning in. Again, make sure to follow us on our Linktree links. And yeah, any final words from you guys? Goresh, Truth, Gale.
Hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see what happens on Global, because again, we have a lot of time to kill. So.
Yep.
Videl is good.
There we go. Okay, guys. Yeah, thank you very much for tuning in, and yeah, we will see you guys next week. 5-9 Gaming signing out.